This video segment is the Polar Fiber Streamer. Materials needed: size G mono thread, a mixing rod for the Softex, eyes such as doll or epoxy, and Zap-A-Gap. Softex, an epoxy-like substance. Polar fiber, a very fine craft fur. Crystal flash, pick your own color. Orvis circle wide hooks, a size 2.0 would be great for this pattern. Step 1. Tie the mono thread at the bend of the hook. Step 2. We take the white polar fiber and tie the butts right at the bend of the hook, only catching the butts of the material. Add a second section of polar fiber right where you left off the first section. We're going to want to blend the materials together, so just take out a small fine-tooth comb and comb the materials together to make it look like one. Now we'll add a third section of polar fiber. Remember, all we want to do is catch the butt ends of the material right to the hook shank, lashing it right to the hook shank. Step 3. We want to add a red section of polar fiber. This will make the gills of the streamer. As you can see, it is a smaller section and not as long as the others. Now we'll add another section of white polar fiber, tying in the butt ends to the shank of the hook. This will sandwich the red polar fiber between the two white sections. Now we'll tie in some crystal flash, rainbow, silver. This will give a scale-like appearance to the fly. Remember, this is a bait fish, so we want to put a little bit of flash into it just to give the scale appearance. Now we'll add chartreuse polar fiber to the fly. Once again, just tying the butt ends to the hook shank. Now we'll add a second section of polar fiber chartreuse to the fly, lashing just the butt ends to the shank of the hook. Now whip finish the fly and cut your thread. We're going to make this fly weedless, so we're going to twist the body material to the underside of the hook, the under shank of the hook. Then we're going to separate the materials and try to get the hook point to go in between the body equally. We're going to lock the fibers in place by putting some Zap-A-Gap right over the wraps of the hook. Then we'll let it dry before going on to the next step. Now with your mixing rod, dip it into the Softex and apply the Softex right to the head of the fly. Nice and thick. Remember, we want this to look like a fish head, so we just dab it on both sides, the top, this and the bottom of the fly. Rotate the fly or take the fly out of the vise. And now it's time to do the other side of the fly. Just dab it on, smooth it out, make sure you smooth it out. Remember, just you could apply multiple coats to this to build the head up also. While the Softex is still tacky, it's time to add the eyes. Just stick them right onto the Softex. Rotate the fly and put the second eye on the opposite side. Just like that. And then add more Softex to lock the eyes in place. Just let it dry in a rotating rack or right in your vise.